This is Tom Blair with Inside Colorado Wrestling, doing another episode of Boundary to Boundary Colorado High School Wrestling. Today's guest is head coach from Arvada West, James Hafke. How's it going, Coach?
Good.
What we're doing is interviews with all the coaches from around the state to let the wrestling community know about the coaches. So can you give me your wrestling background and your coaching background?
Well, I grew up in Waterloo, Iowa, so I wrestled for Bob Siddons, the same high school as Dan Gable wrestled for. So
Did you wrestle Dan?
I have wrestled with Dan. I did not wrestle him.
Okay.
I've worked out with him, let's say that.
Was he years ahead of you or behind you?
He was 8 years ahead of me.
Okay. Go ahead.
I wrestled then, 3 years at West High School, Waterloo, Iowa. And we had a streak of 72 straight wins when I graduated from high school. And then I wrestled 4 years at Cornell College.
Now that's another famous coach there that just passed away. Sorry for your loss. From what I understand, he was a great coach. I never met him, but I know a couple kids from Colorado that went to Cornell College and wrestled for him.
Yeah, he was a great coach. And was mentored by Dan Gable as well. So, yeah, he was an awesome guy.
So, what's your coaching career?
Well, I coached for 3 years in Iowa after I graduated from college in 1978. And my first wife and I moved to Colorado in 1981, where she did her internship and residency. She was a family doctor in Arvada for over 20 years, and I guess it's almost 20 years ago she was killed in a traffic accident. So,
I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry for your loss.
But I've coached it. My first year in 1981, I coached with Jimmy Johnson in Brighton, and then I went to Alameda High School until 1989, and then in 1990 I went to Arvada High School, and then in 1995 I went to Arvada West and coached there. I retired in 2007, and then about 5 years ago, Coach Ron Graneri approached me about helping him, and I took over at Arvada West, not this season, but the year before. So last year, 2018, 2019 was my first year back as head coach at Arvada West.
Okay. What was your season like last year, and how did your kids do at states?
I thought we would do a little better at the regional tournament. We didn't have a very good regional, so I'm hoping to improve on that this year. I took Anthony Stack to the state tournament. He's returning. He's a junior, and I have Elijah Olson, one of my team captains, who, as I said, is injured right now, who placed third in state at 195, and he will be wrestling at 220s when he comes back from his injury.
Okay. What's your incoming class, freshman class look like, and do you have any transfers?
We have some wrestlers from Devlin that come because Devlin doesn't have a wrestling program, and we have some of them starting. We have 24 freshmen out for wrestling, and we have a total of 54 wrestlers that are in the room, and 7 of them are girls or women.
Okay. How are you dealing with the women's program? I talked to a couple different coaches. Some schools have a district unified team, and some are just running a separate girls program with a separate head coach. I know Skyview has 26 girls on their team, and they run it separate from the boys. So how's Arvada West treating the girls?
Well, we have them in the room with the guys at this point. Next year, CHASA will be sanctioning girls as a separate sport. I'm hoping to develop a women's program at Arvada West with a separate coach. So this year, they will have a choice of joining the unified team, which is based in Chatfield, or they can stay and wrestle at Arvada West. I will leave that choice up to the young women.
Okay. It's good to see that the wrestling program for the women are taking off by leaps and bounds, not only here in the state of Colorado, but throughout the country, with over 18 to 20 states now sanctioning the women's wrestling at the high school level. What's your coaching staff look like for this year?
I have Mitch Blaine returning. He was an Arvada West alum. He was played football at UNC, and he was a two-time state placer on the first state championship team ever at Arvada West. I have a young man named Zane Perez, who played football at School of Mines and wrestled 4 years in Kansas and was a successful wrestler there, played state placer a couple times. And I have a young man helping that wrestled for me named Mitchell Romero that just graduated from high school last year.
Okay. So you got a pretty young coaching staff?
Yeah, Mr. Blaine is 50, I'm 63, so I don't know if you add those ages in. I'm not sure if it's that young or not.
It's not that young now, but as far as coaching ranks, the younger kids help out in the room quite a bit with the live wrestling.
Yes, they do. My mind wants my body to do something, and at 63 years old, my body sometimes refuses.
Okay, well, I can understand that. Turning 61 myself this year. What are your season goals?
To do well in the Jefferson County League wrestling matches, and to take as many wrestlers and qualify as many wrestlers for the state tournament as possible. I'd like to see, get a state champion picture on the wall or two. It's always my goal to do well at the end of the year.
Are you dedicating any of the season to Coach Ron?
Well,
seeing he passed away last year?
Yes, actually the Arvada West Invitational is called the Ron Granary Memorial Invitational this year.
Okay. It's great to see that people are awarding Ron for all the stuff that he used to do for wrestling in the state of Colorado. Good luck in your season. Good luck at this tournament you're at. This is Tom Blair with Inside Colorado Wrestling.